Hi guys, this is Vineet and I welcome you to this video. Today's video topic is table valued parameters in SQL Server. Before we proceed ahead, I would request you guys to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my upcoming and future videos. So let me give you 5 seconds. Please quickly go ahead and do that. So I'm waiting. So guys, I hope you must have subscribed by now. So let's proceed ahead. There are some points to remember while watching this video. Please watch this video till the end to gain better clarity of the concept. And if it's possible for you, please watch this video twice or as many times as you like until the concept gets clear to you. Perform any exercises in your test and lab environments only. Do not touch any production environment or production databases to do any of the practicals. And we would like to know your thoughts regarding our video, so please do post in your comments, feedback and suggestions guys. We eagerly wait for them and would love to read them. We have created some playlists for you to watch. Some of the popular playlists are SQL Server database design, tables, business continuity, indexes, performance tuning, integration services and transact SQL. And if we talk about this video pertains to the SQL Server tables category, or you can say SQL Server database design category as well. It caters both the categories. The reason we create playlists for you is because we feel that playlists are best way to learn instead of watching the videos randomly here and there. So, for example, if you want to learn about SQL Server tables for sake, if you want to learn about tables, what we would recommend is go to the SQL Server tables playlist and watch out all the videos from starting till the end to gain better clarity in that particular area and to learn how to work with tables effectively. You must watch out all the videos. So that's the reason we create playlists for you. And if we talk about the total number of videos posted on our channel, it's more than 250 videos at present. And guys, the link for all these playlists are given in the description area of this video, so you can check out the video description area. And video description area also includes my channel page link, so check that out as well. And let's come back to today's topic, which is table valued parameters in SQL Server. So this will be a mix of theoretical and the practical session. Demo will be at the end of this video, which will be a practical demo, and you should be ready to write some code during that demo. And prior to that, let's discuss on some of the theory part. So today's topic is using table valued parameters. So table valued parameters are declared using the user defined table types. So we will show you practically how to do this. So basically the line is saying that table valued parameters are declared using the user defined table types. So we basically, in order to define the table valued parameters, we need to create a user defined table type, and we will shortly show you in the demo how you can create the user defined table types. And you can use the table valued parameters. Let me correct this here. So you can use the table valued parameters to send multiple rows of data to a transact SQL statement or a routine. So what's the use of table valued parameters? These can be used to send multiple rows of data at once to the transact SQL statement or to a routine such as a stored procedure or a function without creating a temporary tables. So instead of creating temporary tables, we can use the table valued parameters to send multiple rows of data to a function or a procedure in SQL Server. So you don't need to create a temporary table if you want to use the table valued parameters, and you do not need to create many parameters. Now let's proceed ahead. Now table valued parameters are like parameters. So here we are talking about the table valued parameters. So table valued parameters are like parameter arrays in ODBC and OLEDB. Basically, if we talk about the table valued parameters, these acts like parameter arrays or an array of parameters, but basically they offer more flexibility and closer integrations with the T-SQL or transact SQL. Table valued parameters also have a benefit of being able to participate in set based operations. Alright, so you may go through this theory description. That's quite simple. Now If we talk about T-SQL, it passes table valued parameters to routines or functions, we can say. Under routines, both stored procedures and functions come up. So transact SQL passes the table valued parameters to these routines, including the stored procedures and functions. And it passes the table valued parameters by reference instead of by value. If you are not familiar with the concept in C, you must have learned in your computer science days that we can pass parameter by reference, or we can also pass parameter by value. So you can check out some online articles to figure out what is passing by reference and what is passing by values. So if I give you broad definition in passing by values, the value gets copied to the destination location. But if we are passing by reference, we are passing the memory reference of the original variable or parameter, so that any changes made by the stored procedure, it will make changes in the actual parameter itself. All right, so T-SQL passes the table valued parameters to routines, including the stored procedure and functions, using the pass by reference to avoid making a copy of the input data. So if we pass by reference, we don't make a copy of the input data. And we can create and execute transact SQL routines with table valued parameters. Yeah, we can definitely create them and call them from transact SQL code, managed and native clients in many managed languages. All right, so we can create the T-SQL stored procedure with table valued parameters, and we can use many managed and native clients in any of the managed languages. We will talk about what are the managed languages of SQL Server. So let's move ahead. Let's look at some of the benefits of using the table valued parameters. So a table valued parameter is scope to a stored procedure. So the scope of the table valued parameter is this is scope to a stored procedure, function, or dynamic transact SQL text, exactly like any other parameters. So its scope is limited to where it is declared. Similarly, a variable of table type has scope like any other local variable that is created by using the declare statement. So it has a local scope, right? And you can create table valued variables within dynamic transact SQL statement and pass these variables as table valued parameters to stored procedure and functions. Now, table valued parameters offers, why do we use these? Offer more flexibility and in some cases better performance than the temporary tables or otherwise or other ways to pass a list of parameters. So basically, why do we use the table valued parameters? Because it provides more flexibility and better performance as well. If we compare it with the temporary tables, or if we compare any other ways to pass the list of parameters to a function. A table valued parameters offer the following benefits. I've listed out some benefits. Let's go through that. So basically, using the table valued parameters do not acquire locks for the initial population of data from a client. So for initial population of data, no locks are required if we are using the table valued parameters, and it provides a simple programming model, and it enables you to include the complex business logic in a single routine. It basically also reduces the round trips to the server. It can have a table structure of different, we can have a table structure of a different cardinality if we are using the table valued parameters. These are strongly typed, and they basically enable a client to specify sort order and unique keys as well. And these are cached like a temp table. If we compare it with the table valued parameters, they cache like a temp table when used in a stored procedure. And starting with SQL Server 2012, if we talk, table valued parameters are also cached for parameterized queries. So these are some of the benefits listed out for the table valued parameters. Now let's take a look at some of the restrictions applicable on the table valued parameters. Now table valued parameters have the following restrictions. Basically, SQL Server does not maintain statistics on any of the columns of the table valued parameters. So this is one of the major restriction or limitation, I would say. Though SQL Server does not compute any statistics on the columns of table valued parameters. And if you want to learn more about statistics, you can check out my SQL Server indexing playlist or SQL Server performance tuning playlist. There I've created some videos on what statistics are. So check them out. You will find the links to all these playlists in the video description area of this video, so check them out. Now we are done with the point that SQL Server does not maintain any statistics on columns of table valued parameters. Second restriction is that table valued parameters must be passed as input read-only parameters. So they can only be passed as input read-only parameters to the transact SQL routine. And we cannot perform the DML operations, including the update, delete, or insert on a table valued parameter in the body of the routine. So we cannot modify these table valued parameters in a routine or stored procedure. They can be passed as read-only parameters. Now we cannot use a non-table valued parameter as a target of a select into or insert execute statement. So any of the non-table valued parameter, we cannot use that parameter as a target of select into or insert execute statement. A table valued parameter can be in the from clause of the select into or in the insert execute string or stored procedure. So if we are using table valued parameter, they should be in the, if we are using the select into statements to copy the data out into the other tables. So table valued parameters must be in the select into list. Now let's compare the table valued parameters versus the bulk insert operations. So bulk insert operations are basically when we insert data in bulk or when we insert large number of rows into a table, that is known as the bulk insert. And we are comparing it against the table valued parameters. So table valued parameters is comparable to other ways of using the set based variables. However, using table valued parameters frequently can be faster for larger data sets. So if we use the table valued parameters, these can be faster for when we are operating with the larger data sets. And if we compare it to the bulk locked or bulk insert operations that have a greater startup cost than table valued parameters. So the bulk insert operations have the greater startup cost if you compare it to the table valued parameters. And table valued parameters perform well for inserting less than 1000 rows. Now table valued parameters that are reused benefit from temporary table caching. So the temporary table used for table valued parameters get cached. So it reaps the benefit of temporary table caching whenever the table valued parameters are used. And this table caching basically enables better scalability than equivalent bulk insert operations, where the table caching, there's no table, so there's no table caching. So it provides more scalability than the equivalent bulk insert operations. And by using the smaller row insert operations, a smaller performance benefit might be gained by using the parameter list or batch statement. So whenever we use the table valued parameters, we do not insert more than 1000 rows into a table. And whenever we use the table valued parameter, they provide the small performance benefits, which might be gained by using the parameter list or batch statements instead of using the bulk locked or bulk insert operations. Not bulk locked, but bulk insert operations or table valued parameters. However, these methods are less convenient to program and performance decreases quickly as the row increases. Now let me take you through some of the demo. In this demo, we will show you how you can create a table valued parameter type. First, we will create a table valued parameter type, and then we declare a variable to reference this table valued parameter type. And then we fill the parameter list. This will be the third operation. And then we will pass the value of the then we will pass the parameter list or pass the value to the stored procedure. And we will use the AdventureWorks database here, or AdventureWorks2022 database. If you have not installed the AdventureWorks2020 database, I would recommend you to do so. You can download that database from Microsoft website. You can search it out in Google and find out the way to install that database. And let me take you to the environment. Let's invoke SQL Server. Okay guys, SQL Server is up and running. So let me go into that, connect to the local instance of SQL Server or the default instance of SQL Server. So once it connects, we will use the AdventureWorks database. So I hope you must have installed the AdventureWorks database by now. So in my system, I have renamed the AdventureWorks2022 database to my AdventureWorks. So in your system, it will show as AdventureWorks2022. So it's one and the same thing. I've just renamed that database. Now let me trigger a new query. So first we will show you how you can create a table type. So let me put in some commands. So what we are doing here right now is we are creating a table type. This is what we are doing. Let's uncomment it. And in order to create a table type, use the create type statement. This is the statement we use to create the type. And I'm naming this table type as location table type. That is the name of the table. It's not a table, it's just a type that we are creating. So we are creating a type. The name of the type would be, so type is like integer, data, date, time, etc. These are the types. So we are creating another type of type. So using the create type statement. So the name of this type is location table type. And we are creating this type as a table. So we are referencing a table that this type will be a table. And let's create a structure for it. So in this table, we will, as we are basing it on a table, so let's define the structure of the table. So we will take location name, which will be of varchar 50 type uh, to store the character text, and let's take the cost rate as the second column, and this will be of integer type. So this is the structure of the table. Let's execute this part to create this type. The type is location table type. Let's execute this statement. So a type is created, which is location table type. Now what we will do, we will create a stored procedure. Here I'm just writing a procedure to receive data for the table valued parameter. So in this this procedure will receive data from the table valued parameter, and we'll show you how to do that. Let's begin creating a procedure. So in order to create a stored procedure, you write the create procedure statement. So after writing the create procedure, you specify the name of the procedure. I'm defining the schema, and then the stored procedure is USP underscore insert production location is the name of the stored procedure. And what we are doing is we are passing a parameter through the stored procedure as well. This stored procedure will receive a parameter. I'm marking it as TVP. By at the rate, we do define the parameters that this procedure will receive. So for namesake, I've just mentioned the TVP as the name of the parameter or variable. And this parameter will be of type location table type. Make sure you spell it correctly or otherwise copy it from the top. So let me copy that. So I'm declaring a variable here with of a location table type, which will be of table type. Okay. And this will be read only because we pass on the table valued parameters as read only. That's why the read only statement should be there. And we had discussed this earlier as well. Now the outer body of the procedure is defined. Now let's define the procedure. So you use the as statement and you write the body of the procedure after that. So here I'm setting the no count on. You can check out what the set no count on is. And let's insert into, so basically if you set no count on, it doesn't give you count on how many rows are inserted into table, etc. Otherwise you get the messages, right, how many rows are inserted. So it will simply give the message that commands completed successfully instead of showing you how many rows are affected or inserted into a table. Now let me insert into the AdventureWorks. In my case, it's my AdventureWorks. There's a table with the name production.location. All right. So this is an already existing table in my AdventureWorks database, or in your case, AdventureWorks2022 database. And what I'm inserting here is, let me insert it. So in this table, I would like to insert the name, the cost rate, and we will insert the availability and modified date. So because this table contains the 4 columns, I think we can check out the table structure by going to that table. So table name is my AdventureWorks production.location. So this is the table. You can check out the structure. So this table has some columns. So first one is the primary key, and we don't need that. Other four columns are name, cost rate, availability, and modified date. So we have used those columns. So we are inserting into those columns, and we are selecting the values from. So we are selecting star, which will and we are selecting star from the table valued parameter that will pass. So let's do select star from @tvp, which is the variable to which the data will be passed. All right. And so, but if we select from this table valued parameter, this will be of location table type. It only has two columns, right? Whereas it will only get satisfy the name and cost rate columns here. What about the availability and the modified date? So we need to pass on those parameters manually. For availability, we are marking it as 0 to indicate no availability. And let's take get date using the get date function to cater to modified date column from the table valued parameter variable. And let's put go after that to complete the stored procedure. Now let's go ahead and create this stored procedure. We have already created a location table type. Now let's create a stored procedure. So stored procedure is created. Now the next step would be to next what we are doing is we are declaring a variable that references the type, and this variable is a table valued parameter. So in order to declare a variable, you use the declare statement, and let's take the variable name as location tvp, and we are declaring it as location table type, which is the type we created above, right? Let's copy that out. So this will be of location table type, and we are declaring a variable over here. So after declaring the variable, let's try to use that variable. So let's use the insert statement, and we are inserting into this particular variable. Now this variable have two columns, location name and cost rate. So let's insert some data into this variable. So we can use insert into location tvp, and we need to pass on the location name and the cost rate, right? And we are selecting the data from select. We can do name. We are selecting name and 0.00 as the cost rate. And let's select this data from one of the table, which is the AdventureWorks dot person dot state province. Let's select the name and the cost rate data from this table. Let me mark it with a comment here. We are adding data to the table variable or table. Yeah, this is a table variable to which we are inserting the data. Third thing is after insert the data into this table parameter. So once the data is selected into this variable, we'll pass this table variable data to the stored procedure that we created above. So what's the stored procedure we created above? We created the stored procedure. USP insert production location is the stored procedure, which basically insert data into the My AdventureWorks production location. The procedure is already there. So let me write the statements here. So how to pass the data? In order to invoke the stored procedure, you execute the stored procedure using the exec statement. Mention the name of the stored procedure. So stored procedure name is USP underscore insert production location. And in order to pass on the parameters, let's pass on the parameter that we have just declared. So this is location tvp. Now let's execute all of these statements together. All right. So we see that 181 rows are affected or inserted into this My AdventureWorks production location table, and we can check out the values of the parameters as well. So we do select star from, and we can check out this parameter. What does this table type parameter holds? We can use these three statements. Let's do select star from location tvp, and if we execute this statement, we see what data is being selected. So this is the data is being selected from the person.state province table. It consists of 181 entries. That is what we inserted into the AdventureWorks production location table, and we have inserted this data from my AdventureWorks person state province table, and in this case we have used the table valued parameters. So this is the one. So this is a table valued parameter, consists of a table, location, name, and the cost rate. These two are the columns for that table, and these are what the table valued parameters are, and we have shown you practically how you can create a table type first, and using that table type you can create a stored procedure, and later on you can declare a variable of that type which you have created, and you can insert data into that type, and after you insert the data into that table type, uh, then you can pass on that as a parameter to a stored procedure. So this is what table valued parameters are all about. So I hope you like the content and the practical as well. I hope you have already done the practical. If not, you can go through the practical once again, and also go through the theory notes for all these table valued parameters. And I hope you like the content of this video, guys. If you really like the content of this video, please do hit the like button at the bottom of this video. And once you hit the like button, just near to that, there's a subscribe button as well. Click on that subscribe button. Select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my upcoming and future videos. And guys, do post in your comments, feedback, and suggestions so that we can improve our videos, or we can include the content which is required by you. Although we are going serially, we go topic wise. We don't do random stuff. But yeah, at least you can let us know your demands so that we can try to create content accordingly. And also, guys, if you feel that my videos are very useful and my channel is useful, maybe if you have a good network of friends, you can share my videos with them using the share button below the video. You can share my channel page link with them as well. And you may ask your friends to subscribe to my channel so that they can get timely notifications. And if they are working in SQL Server domain, we do lots of hard work to prepare this video, guys. So uh, I would like that my content should be shared with more and more people so that they can benefit from it. So thank you so much for your time on this video today, guys, and you have a wonderful day ahead.